Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you and peace be upon us all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, our children, our youth, our future. Everyone here today is here for one reason or another, and today is a very special day. It's a day of reflection. It's a day of thinking about people who made sacrifices for freedom.
There are great challenges ahead for us and for the Muslim community. I know. I travel the length and breadth of Canada. I hear what Canadians say. And while on the whole Canadians are welcoming and friendly and accepting, there are some who are not. They want to exploit these differences in our communities for their political ends. They're trying to mimic what we see in the United States. We've already seen it, the tragic results of this kind of an attitude. It's up to all of us as Canadians, whatever our faith community or ethnic community, to stand together. And tonight, for us here in the Lower Mainland, this is a really good start.
We need to stand up together. But we can only stand up together and fight intolerance and discrimination and those issues when we start with ourselves. And I use this analogy quite often when I'm talking to young people and when I talk to my grandchildren. I said, it is very interesting if you go into a room and you close your eyes and you listen to people talk, you're not judging them by what you see, by what you hear. And that, I think, is a fundamental principle that we each individually must embrace.
The RCMP is committed to preserve the peace, uphold the law, and provide quality service in partnership with the communities. Sir Robert Peel, who's considered the father of modern policing, once said in his basic tenets, the police are the public and the public are the police. Now think of that. The police are not special, they're not separate, they're not better. They are the public and the public are the police. The police are just mere paid servants to enforce the law. And I tell you that because in my mind, that's significant, is that it's not that I work for the public as a police officer, of course I do, but my job is to be vigilant, to ensure that every one of you, regardless of where you come from, whatever your religion is, whatever your race is, color, it'll make no difference to me. And I can tell you, and I speak for other police officers, that when we go to files, when we go to investigations, we don't see these things. We see the law, and our role is to enforce the law with impartiality.
As some other speakers have said, that we are blessed to live in the most beautiful country we call Canada, a country built by our ancestors on the fundamental values of justice for all, equality for all, fairness for all, and equal opportunities for all Canadians.
Very simple words, socially just and inclusive. And socially just doesn't mean socially just for you, yourself, or just for me. Socially just means for everyone. You've heard me say this before. It's easy to fight for your own rights when your life is under threat. You raise your arm to protect yourself if somebody attacks you. But true humanity and social justice is when we stand in a circle and protect each other no matter who is attacked. That is social justice.
The Surrey Interfaith Council serves as a kind of like a locus for that journey here in the community of Surrey. We provide a space, a place for people across different faiths to come together to learn more about each other, and to become further engaged in the community.
Honestly, the most important thing, in my opinion, and the easiest thing is just open communication. Because a lot of the time, we don't talk to each other. You know, a lot of people, the reason why this ignorance is so widespread is because people are scared. They're very scared. A lot of people haven't even met a Muslim before, and if they have, they've never talked to them, they haven't interacted with them. And so obviously, if the only source of their information is coming from a news outlet or from a magazine, you know, it makes sense that they're scared. It makes sense that they have these irrational fears because they've never met anyone to tell them otherwise. And so it's important for us as Muslims, first of all, to, you know, reach out and talk to people from other communities and engage with people from other communities and show them, you know, there's nothing to be scared of. I'm here, I'm a human, just like you. You know, I'm someone's daughter, I'm someone's sister, I'm someone's best friend. I do weird things in my free time like everybody else. I'm a person just like everybody else in this room. And so it's important that we show people that, because I can sit here and tell people, oh, Islam is a peaceful religion and blah, blah, blah for millions of years. But until someone actually connects with a Muslim and sees that, you know, you could talk from now until forever and no one's going to listen to you. No one's going to believe you. You have to make those connections with people.
We decided as a group of community members that we're not going to blame politicians or politics or systems or laws or cultures or societies. We're not going to blame the events around us. We're not even going to blame the people that hate Islam and Muslims. All we are going to do is create a platform that extends even beyond the walls of the Muslim institutions, beyond the walls of the mosques and the religious centers. And we are going to create a platform from which we will take ownership of our own identity, we will take ownership of our own message, and we will take ownership of our own narrative. No longer are we going to allow other people to narrate Islam for us, to represent Islam for us, to speak about Islam for us. We are going to take ownership of that because we think we owe that to our religion and we owe that to the societies that we live in. And simply, very simply and very clearly through dialogue, but most importantly, through organized education, we want to combat those negative feelings of animosity, of enmity, of hatred, maybe of fear and insecurity that reside within the hearts of many people towards Islam and Muslims.
It's true that we must unravel, we must untie the knots of ignorance that are getting in the way of getting to know one another.